Welcome back, family. Another week of meals. We do have some breakfast, mostly dinners, but I hope you enjoy these videos. Hello, family. My name is Vicki, and I am Grammy in the kitchen. And I want to say thank you so much for tuning into my channel 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I try to put out great content. I try to be accurate, but I am human and I do make mistakes. This is a one-woman show. I film, edit, write in the descriptions all by myself. Plus, I have a job outside the home. So I hope you are patient with me. But let's get this started. So today we're going to be making breakfast. I have 2 packages of 3-count link sausage that we cooked a couple months ago. Found those in the freezer. We're going to have that for breakfast. Plus, we're going to have our homemade instant pancake mix. Come on with me and let's get this breakfast started. I have the griddle on the stove on medium heat. We'll go ahead and get the sausage starting to thaw and heat up. They're fully cooked, so that shouldn't take too long. And that'd be a perfect amount of time to get this pancake mix put together. I'm gonna be doubling this batch, so I have 1.5 cups of water, and we need 2 cups of mix. Now you can add cinnamon or vanilla or whatever you want to this mix. Might add some vanilla. Pour into 1.5 cups of water. I gotta fill the vanilla up. We're gonna put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Perfect. And that is it. Let's go ahead and move to the griddle. Putting a little bit of butter on the griddle. Start forming our pancakes. And look how beautiful that pancake is. Gorgeous. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. So let me go ahead and finish cooking all the pancakes. Bring you right back when we're ready to start eating. So the pancakes are done. The sausage has been heated up. Let's go ahead and make a plate for the husband. Let's go ahead and make one for us. There we go, 3 sausage a piece, perfect. I did have one that kind of flipped, but that's okay. We did 2 cups of mix and 1.5 cups of water. That gave us 6 very large pancakes. I'm gonna put maple syrup on mine. Oh, that is so good. So simple because we already made the mix. It was ready to go. All we had to do was add water. Light and fluffy. So the husband is standing just off camera right here. He's going to taste it for us and let us know how good they are. I'm excited, family.
Good.
He likes it. It's approved by the husband. All right, we're going to sit down and eat our breakfast, but I'll put a link right there showing you where you could go find the video on how we made this pancake mix, plus some other instant mixes. Go check that out. I'll see you the next time we get in the kitchen. Well, it's time to cook dinner. I took a pound of ground beef out of the freezer a couple nights ago. They've been sitting in my refrigerator. Didn't know what I was going to do with it, but now I do. We're going to have tacos. So I'm going to season that meat with some taco seasoning, with some hard and soft tacos. We're going to make a Mexican elote corn dip. We don't necessarily use it as a dip. We use it as a side dish. And I went ahead and bought some yellow squash. We're going to put that in a pan with some onions and get that in the oven. So I'm just going to cut them in rounds. And put them in this cast iron skillet right here. I'm gonna put some avocado oil. Some salt. And pepper. That's it. In a 350-degree oven until they're soft and done. I'm going to go ahead and save these ends, put it in our vegetable scrap bag. So I have a couple jalapenos. I do want to have them de-seeded. And I'm going to chop these very fine. The husband's outside and Morty is having a fit because Daddy's not in the house. You can use as much or as little or none at all of jalapenos, depending on what your hot level is. We do like spicy food, so that's okay. And since we already have onions chopped up and we have garlic pucks, we don't have to do nothing with those two vegetables. So in the big cast iron skillet on the stovetop, we'll put some avocado oil. That's about a cup of onions. And I do want to sweat those just a bit because they're frozen and I don't want to put the raw fresh jalapenos in here until this cooks down a little bit. Let's go ahead and put our garlic puck in here. It's still frozen. It's going to take a few minutes for it to thaw and break down. Look at the color on those onions. Oh, it's beautiful. Put a little bit more avocado oil in here. Well, let's go ahead and put the jalapenos in there. This is some frozen corn. It's probably about 2.5, 3 cups. Go ahead and dump that in there. All right, we just want to cook that a bit until the corn has a little bit of char on it. Picked up a bunch of cilantro. I'm going to run this under some cold water, getting the dirt and bits off of it. The stems are edible. I just don't really care that much to bite into the stems. So I am going to stand right here and break them off of the stems. There is plenty of flavor left in the cilantro stems. Just going to add that to my vegetable bag. And now I just want to give all of the cilantro a good chop. All right, that looks good. Let's go ahead and get this in a bowl. All right, now we're going to go ahead and make the dip component. So I have some sour cream. I want about 1/3 cup. And then we have mayonnaise. Now this is just Miracle Whip. And we want about 1/2 cup. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and bloom our spices. I have 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, and we just want to cook the vegetables with the corn and those spices for just about 2 minutes. And I have a package of queso fresco. We want to crumble some of this up in here as soon as I can figure out how to open it. This is 10 ounces. We won't need the whole 10 ounces. Probably need about maybe 2 or 3, but use as much as you want. And I do want to crumble that. Beautiful. Let's put the corn, the spices, onion, garlic, jalapenos in this bowl. Beautiful. All right, so the mayonnaise and the sour cream, let's mix that in really well. Dump that in here. put in there. Queso fresco. Ideally, you want to use fresh lime juice. Forgot to pick up a lime. So we're going to put about 2 tablespoons of lime juice. And we're not going to put the cilantro in here until it cools off. This is going to go in the refrigerator. And let me get the kitchen cleaned up, reset, and then we'll go ahead and get started cooking on that ground beef for the taco meat. Let's check on the squash. I do want to give those a nice little toss. They still got a long ways to go. Back in the oven. So in the regular size stainless steel skillet, we're going to brown our beef. This is some local grown grass-fed, grass-finished beef. All right, let me brown this up and I'll bring you right back. And then we'll dress it up. Heat up some tortillas. And as soon as the squash is done, taco meat done, we're ready to eat, family. All right, so this pound of beef has right much fat in it. I do want to get out, oops, sorry guys, I hit the camera. I do want to get as much of that out as possible without losing any beef. Then I have a paper towel. We're just going to sop up some of that right up. It's okay if we have a little in here. We just didn't want at least a half a cup. All right, that is good. I have one of our frozen tomato paste going in. Let's add about a half a cup of water. And our homemade taco seasoning. We're going to start off with about 3 tablespoons. And we just want to saute that a bit till all that tomato paste falls and mellows out in with this beef, with those seasonings from the taco seasoning. Alright, there we go. I'm going to turn this down to a low. Just let it sit there. Now, one of you family members out there told me if I toast these hard corn tortillas, they actually taste better. So I am going to do that. I want to say thank you very much. I love our community. We help each other. We give advice. I absolutely love it. Then I have some soft corn tortillas that I do want to heat up. So I'm just going to put everything on this big baking sheet. We'll start with, okay, 7 and 6. That should be enough for the husband and I. Oven is still set on 350 degrees because the squash is still in there. Let me pop this in the oven for a few minutes. Let's go ahead and taste this beef and see if it needs any more seasoning. Yes, I think it does. Definitely needs salt and pepper. So I'm just going to put a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. and another tablespoon of taco seasoning. Let's add a little bit more water. I have it turned down way low because it is done. And I just wanted to taste it to see if we need to add anything. So we're gonna let that sit for a few more minutes to mellow out, and then dinner will be ready. Let's check on the squash. All right, that's still got a ways to go. It's getting there, but very slowly. Getting ready to sit down and eat, family. All right, so this is our elote, Mexican corn dip elote. Here's the cilantro. Let's go ahead and put that in there. That's the whole bunch. Stir that in really well. Beautiful. All the tortillas came out of the oven. The squash is still in there. They're not quite ready, but we're going to go ahead and eat what we have. So, you know the husband likes his double deckers, which is a soft taco, refried beans, can't talk today, a hard taco, and some meat. And the refried beans, I'll just put them in this bowl and microwaved it for about 4 minutes. Oh, perfect timing. The husband's getting ready to come in from playing in the yard all morning. And some elote street taco blend. This is great as a dip, but it's even better as a side dish. That's the husband's plate. And now we're going to make ours. I do know one thing. When these hard tacos are heated up in the oven, they do seem to close just a bit, but that's okay. If the squash was ready, I would put that on my plate. It's not, it is okay. All right, let me call the husband in. So the husband has his dinner. Got mine right here. Family, heating up those hard tacos makes a world difference. Thank you for giving me that advice. I do appreciate it. Mexican street corn. That is so good. As for the squash, if we don't eat that tonight, we'll have it tomorrow for dinner. It's not a big deal. The husband and I are going to sit down at the table, have our dinner. I'll see you in the next meal. Do you like oatmeal? I love oatmeal. So this was gifted to me from a fellow Azure Drop member, and it's a non-GMO 5-grain cereal. It has whole grain hard red wheat, whole grain rye, barley, whole grain oats, whole grain tricycle, I'll put that word right there, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, and flaxseed. Never had this before, but it was gifted to us. So we're going to follow the instructions on the package just to see if we like it and if we can tweak it. On the stove, I do have 2.5 cups of water coming to a boil, and I have 1 cup of the 5-grain cereal. Let's move over there and get started. So that's 2.5 cups of water coming to a boil. I do need to put a pinch of salt in there. Plus 1 cup of the cereal. We need to reduce the heat and cook it for about 10 to 15 minutes. All right, we'll check on that in 10 or 15 more minutes. Now when I make oatmeal for the husband and myself, I usually use rolled oats and steel cut oats, both of which I get from Azure Standard. I like steel cut oats because it takes longer for your body to digest it, and it keeps you full longer periods of time. Rolled oats are just easy digestive. But this cereal right here was gifted to us, and we're not going to waste it. We'll try it. If we like it, we'll buy it again. If we don't like it, we'll definitely eat this. It will not go to waste. But I'm not sure if I like it better, equal, or less than what I normally use. I'm going to sweeten this with some brown sugar and put a little bit of cinnamon in it and a dash of vanilla. It's been cooking for about 5 minutes. I do want to add some cinnamon. This is a 1/4 teaspoon measure, and some brown sugar. Maybe, I don't know, let's say 1/8 of a cup or 2 tablespoons. We'll let that continue to cook for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll taste it. I'm going to turn the burner off. I am going to add a splash of milk, because I do like mine creamy, and about less than a teaspoon of vanilla. Stir that in. Perfect. Now if you are a family of 2 or 3 or 4 kids, make an instant oatmeal in the microwave. Even though it's instant, takes time. You can only do 1 at a time. So the kids and the whole family is not sitting down eating breakfast together. We are our culture of instant gratification. Instant breakfasts throw in the microwave. Fast food delivered to our doors. We need to step away from instant gratification and get back to real food cooked in traditional ways that you can feed your whole family. Sit down at a table, discuss the day, figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. Start with breakfast. It took less than 15 minutes to put this oatmeal together. It's only the husband and myself, but if we had all of our kids at home, we can actually sit down and eat together instead of having a line in front of the microwave trying to get to the microwave to heat up our instant breakfast. But we're going to taste this, see if we like it. All right, so we're going to scoop up a bowl. It is just the 5-grain cereal from Azure. A little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of brown sugar, a splash of vanilla, and a splash of milk. And a pinch of salt. That's it. Let's see if we like it. It tastes like oatmeal. It's very good. So the 1 cup measure is supposed to give us 3 servings. A serving is 1/3 of a cup. We did a cup. The calories, now my calories are going to be a little bit off because I did add brown sugar and milk. So the calorie intake is going to be a little bit higher. But the cereal itself is 120 calories. But it's really good. It's actually really good. I like oatmeal. I like cooked oatmeal. If you have instant oatmeal in your kitchen, look at the ingredients. They're going to be high in sugar. We got to control how much sugar and the type of sugar we put in our oatmeal. We make our own homemade brown sugar, and that is organic cane sugar and molasses, both which we get from Azure Standard. We make our own brown sugar. So we have control over the type of sugar plus the amount of sugar. So I put in 2 tablespoons. This is supposed to be 3 servings, and they are pretty big size servings if you ask me. I think we could get 4 out of here, especially if you have small children. But if you have a husband or even yourself that works outside the house, they might need a little bit more calorie intake, so their portions will be bigger. But if you have small children, this will feed a good sized family of 4. And it's pennies on the dollar compared to the cost of the instant oatmeal. That's what we're having for breakfast today. I'll see you on the next meal. So today we're going to have baked ziti with a bechamel sauce. If you saw the last video that I put out on Thursday, we used the sun oven. We're going to use the sun oven again today. So all the components we need to make a baked ziti or penne. Yeah, it's penne. I had to look at the bag, see what we have. I have 10 ounces of pasta cooking on the stove, and then once that's done, we'll move over there and get started on the meat sauce and the bechamel. Now this recipe is not going to be in the sun oven completely. We are utilizing the stove to get the components ready, and then we'll move outside. Plus I decided I'm going to go ahead and make one of our prepared chocolate lava cake in the sun oven also. At least it could be cooking while we're processing the dinner. Let's go ahead and get started. I already have the cast iron skillet coated with butter. I have never done this in the sun oven. We're doing this together. So we need 352 grams of this mix. And we already have powdered milk in here, so all we have to do is add a half a cup of water. It's a little bit on the dry side, so I am going to add just a little bit more water. Just do it until you think it's good enough. We want a thick paste-like, but not super thick. More like a cake batter. Looks like I put about 3/4 of a cup in there. That's perfect. We're going to have a change of plans. I decided to use one of my brand new glass casserole dish. I've never made it in anything other than cast iron, but we're going to see. Let's get all this goodness in here. One of our already prepared toppings. And then 1 3/4 cups of hot water. We're going to put the lid on it, and now we're going to take it outside. It's already reading 250 degrees in here. There we go. And let's check the sunlight. All right, there we go. And we're just going to leave it right there while we work on the dinner. Since I already have that pan nice and buttered, We're just going to use that to brown the beef we got on sale at Lidl's last month. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the bechamel sauce also. So I have about 2 tablespoons of butter. We'll put about a half a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and 2 tablespoons of flour. 1½ cups of milk. We're just going to let that milk thicken up and then we'll add the Parmesan cheese. I went ahead and grated one of our wedges of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to put half of this right in there with the bechamel. I'm going to turn the burner off and just let the residual heat melt that cheese into that sauce. And then we'll taste it for salt and pepper. And as soon as the hamburger's done and we get our sauce in here, we can go ahead and build our casserole. I'm going to go ahead and add a garlic puck right in there with our beef. Let's taste this and see if it needs anything. Oh, family, that is so good. So we just want to cook that until we can smell the aroma of the garlic. Now this is ready. This is some pasta sauce that the last time we made pasta together, I made extra and stuck it in the freezer. We're using that today. All right, there we go. We just want to heat that up just a bit. Now we're almost ready to put everything together. So I have the stoneware baking dish. I did check to see if this fits in the sun oven, and it does. Perfect. So that's what we're using today. Just putting a little meat sauce on the bottom. And we're going to layer this pretty much like lasagna. So I have the cooked drained penne, Parmesan cheese, the bechamel, and mozzarella. Let's go ahead and put a layer of pasta. We're going to do about half of it. That's perfect. Let's top it with some sauce. Put half of our bechamel right on top of that. Oh, family, looks so good. Put some Parmesan cheese and mozzarella. Repeat for another layer. The remainder of the sauce. This pan is super hot. The remainder of the bechamel. Parmesan cheese. and mozzarella. All right, this dinner is done. Now we need to wait till the dessert comes out of the sun oven. Then we'll put this in there. When we're baking in the sun oven, we would like to have a clear glass lid, but I don't have a lid for this. I don't want to use plastic wrap. Definitely don't want to use aluminum foil because that's going to reflect the sun away from our dish. So we're just going to put it in there without any lid, any cover, anything. As soon as that dessert comes out, this is going in. The lava cake took 2.5 hours, but it is done. Very lavely. Oh, beautiful. And I have the baked ziti in there now. I'll let you know how long that takes. I'm guessing about another 2.5 hours. Everything in that dinner is cooked. We just need to heat it up and melt the mozzarella and the Parmesan cheese that we added on there. So I'm guessing about 2.5 hours. Okay, family, I just came in from checking on dinner. It's been in the sun oven for an hour and a half, but I think it's ready. When I opened it up, it was bubbly. The cheese has melted. Let's go take a peek. I am losing sunlight rapidly. The clouds are rolling in. Plus it's starting to go behind my trees in my backyard. But it is done. Let's take this inside. Isn't it gorgeous? So the baked penne took only an hour and a half. We did build it in the house, cooked the ground beef, put everything together, and put it in the sun oven for just an hour and a half, and it is done. The lava cake took 2.5 hours, but look at all that gooey lava-ness. Is that even a word? Lava-ness. Oh, look at that, family. So beautiful. And I know you're thinking, 2.5 hours for dessert plus an hour and 45 minutes for dinner? Excessive. I totally understand that. Sun on a beautiful, gorgeous, clear day using the sun oven. It's free. It doesn't cost us anything to use solar energy. Pasta is cooked perfect. That is so good. And the lava cake, cooked to perfection. Awesome. And we didn't have to heat up the house. Let me call the husband in here. We're gonna sit down and have dinner. Well, it's technically lunch, but we're gonna have this for lunch and dinner. If you find any value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't mind, please subscribe. I would love to have you part of the Grammy family. Right over here, you're gonna see 2 videos. Go check those out to the next upload. Make sure you are subscribed, because I got a big announcement coming out very, very soon. And I want you to be one of the first people that hear that announcement. So until next time, y'all have a blessed day. All right, husband, come on in here, let's eat.